That's the full amount? The father asked, voice cracking. The pharmacist nodded gently. $823 after the discount. Yen. Karai. His hands trembled, fingers curling around the paper like it might disappear. The little girl beside him leaned into his leg, coughing softly. She didn't ask questions. She knew this part. He looked down at her, then back at the counter, and broke. I just want her to breathe, he whispered. As his eyes filled, he sat down hard, like gravity had doubled. The prescription fluttered from his lap to the floor. His daughter dozed beside him, one small hand still holding her inhaler. He didn't care who saw, didn't care about the stares. His tears weren't loud, but they were seen. A stranger paused, hesitated, then quietly lifted the paper. Sometimes, stories begin with silence and a phone camera. The photo went up quietly. No tags, no names. Just one caption. He just wants her to breathe. Viewer. Inin. How. Likes trickled in. Then comments. Then shares. People asked, who are they? How can we help? Strangers became threads in a net of concern. The internet didn't always forget. Sometimes it reached back with both hands. We've got her in the system now, the nurse said. He filled out forms like he was writing the future. The girl clutched a faded stuffed bunny, eyes scanning the bright hallway. Will it stop the pain in my chest? She asked. Soon, he said, voice tight with hope and fear. Help was close, but the mountain still felt tall. The screen showed the father, small daughter beside him, tears like mirrors. The man leaned back, phone in hand. Where are they located? Find them. All of her medication, a full year, covered. No child should gasp for breath because of a price tag. He didn't want thanks. He wanted results. And he was about to deliver them. This one's for daily use, the nurse explained gently. The girl took it like a fragile gift, eyes wide. No more skipping doses, the nurse smiled. Her father exhaled, finally, fully. He hadn't realized how long he'd been holding his breath too. It's covered, she added. All of it. Ni. Bye. That sentence became the sweetest sound in the room. The bag was heavy, 4 different prescriptions, all labeled, all sealed. Here's the calendar and dosage list, the pharmacist said softly. He nodded, gripping the pen too tight as he signed the release. We're told it's all prepaid, for the full year. His eyes welled again. But for a different reason this time. The paper bag crinkled as he hugged it to his chest. Relief came not like thunder, but like light through curtains. 1 sticker for every time you take it right, her father grinned. She took the pill, then the puff, then smiled. That means I get a gold star today. Gold and glitter, he promised. The fridge had become their scoreboard, and every dose a win. Her coughs were fewer. Her sleep was deeper. It wasn't just working. It was transforming her. She walked into the hallway like it was her first time. Even though it wasn't. No wheezing. No pale face. No stopping every few feet. Kids called her name. She waved back, proud. Her teacher knelt to eye level. Welcome back, superstar. Whoa. She giggled, cheeks flushed with something more than effort. Joy. Her breath was no longer a burden. It was a bridge. What's this one? He asked, pointing to the wings. It's my lungs flying, she said matter-of-factly. He laughed, pulling her close. The paper crinkled as she held it up. It means I'm strong now. You're so. He kissed her forehead. You always were. Now the world sees it too. Niarwas. The drawing hung on the wall that night. Beside the calendar, the meds, and a family reborn in breath. "These are my superhero lungs," she explained to the class. Her drawing fluttered slightly in her hands, wings wide across the page. The kids clapped, genuinely impressed. One boy whispered, "That's actually really cool." She blushed, smiling with shy pride. Her breath was easy. Her voice was clear. For once, she wasn't the sick kid, just the artist. The flyer was simple, just white and blue. Breath Fund. Help more kids breathe. People started pinning notes, receipts, even drawings beside it. "My niece has asthma. Thank you for doing this," one read. "In honor of Bella," another said. What started as one man's act had become many hands opening. The board filled like lungs with new air. The pharmacy backroom buzzed like a beehive. Volunteers sorted boxes, labels neat. Liam, 3 months. Tariq, 6 months. A young woman stacked inhalers into rows like treasure. "We're covering 14 kids now," someone said in awe. All because one stranger once listened and gave. The shelves weren't just full, they were sacred. "Hello," she waved, the tablet shaking in her lap. On the screen, the man smiled wide. "How's our superhero?" "Stronger than ever. Look." She showed her chart full of gold stars. "You inspire us all," he said gently. Her father stepped into view, eyes damp again, but this time, grateful. "Thank you," he whispered. "Some connections are made with money, others with meaning. Once there was a girl whose lungs were tired," she read aloud. "But someone gave her air, not just to breathe, but to dream." The story echoed from the living room out the window. Neighbors paused to listen, drawn by her soft voice. The world outside hadn't changed much, but inside, their home was filled with clean air, quiet strength, and tomorrow's stories. "You're better now, so your bear has to be too," she whispered. She placed the stethoscope on its chest, then smiled with satisfaction. Her father leaned on the doorway, arms crossed, heart full. "You thinking of becoming a doctor now?" he teased. "A breathing doctor," she said proudly. Every game she played now carried purpose. "I used to sit out during recess," she said clearly. "But now, I can run, jump and play because of medicine and kind people." Kids nodded. One raised a hand. "Do you ever get scared again?" "Sometimes," she said. "But mostly, I feel strong." "Yee." Her teacher placed a hand on her shoulder afterward. "You didn't just speak, you taught." The poster stood tall, her drawing right in the middle. Lungs with hearts, stars, and big letters, "Give breath, give life." "Nah." People paused, read, then reached for their wallets. "She's the reason we started all this," one volunteer said. "And why we'll keep going," said another. "Even paper lungs can move real hearts." He stood before the room, slide behind him. Bella, smiling with her inhaler. "This began with one moment in a pharmacy," he began. "And now, we're expanding to cover hundreds of children across the region." Applause rose, not for him, but for the mission. He looked at the screen once more. "She reminded me what giving truly means." "There you are. Shall." Some heroes don't wear capes. They carry medicine in backpacks. The sun touched her notebook as she wrote, slow and steady. Her title, "How to Be a Light When You Can Finally Breathe." She paused, looked out the window, then back down. "Thank you for my breath," she whispered aloud. It wasn't a story about pain anymore. It was a story about everything that came after. And she was ready to tell it, one word at a time.